Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X. It's the 101st episode. Yesterday was the 100th, and I wanted to do some stuff. We had to cut out these things and make these maps. Then there was some weird bug that I fixed offline. So we're working on a map editor. We're basically going to color code. The whole map is going to be color coded like this. To make these turn into this, and I actually have this working on our map editor. This is a separate thing that I got this whole thing from, so you can now go over these and you can tell which one you're going to select. It all needs some work, but this is how we're gonna move this into our 2D4X code, which is open source. But I highly recommend looking at it's in the README of this GitHub project. So I highly recommend looking at Wyndham Flattis's actual thing that I got his code from there. I learned from his code. I'm turning my music on and it's too loud. In the morning, the music is too loud. In the evening, it's not loud enough. So Wyndham Flattis, he's on my README. There's a link to his project of how he's working on like a generic system for so people can just add their maps in themselves and work from there. He has a whole thing going. And so I used his code to do this, and we're going to move this code. I did it temporary, did a test run. We're going to move this code to here, and we're going to get rid of these counties that are pre-built. The whole problem with these counties that are pre-built is that if I change one of these, I don't know why I can't. I guess I got to go down here. I was trying to bring up one of these individually. I think I'm under prefabs. No, I'm changing how we're gonna reorganize all this shit too. We have another scene. We're gonna move the main scene in here too, wherever it's hanging out. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna do a major. It's gonna be a total clusterfuck too. So that's gonna be kind of fun while we rip this all apart and add in this other stuff here. I was trying to find my county scenes. Here they are. So we have individual county scenes right now. And what happens is if I make one change, I got to go through all of them and change them. So what will happen from going forward is we'll instantiate each county. They are generated with this map thing. They're saved to a file here. They're kind of big right now. And so at some point, we're going to want to make them smaller because they're too large. I'm going to, if we look at the actual size here under where's my map editor? Whoops. See, they're multiple megs. Look at this guy. 14 megs. We want to make that smaller at some point. And so I actually added in a new map editor thing in the project here. And so that will be the first thing. Well, we're going to do this in the next round. We're not going to do this today. Today we're just going to get it working, and we're going to have those large sizes. And the next round we're going to want to make county files smaller. I haven't figured out why they're so monstrous. I mean, I know to a point, but I don't know. I don't know how to fix it, basically. And we'll deal with that later, though. So I got more county maps thing, and this list is going to grow today. We're just going to keep throwing things in here. As I have like 20 ideas that I want to do. Oh, I just thought of another one. I want to. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. So I'll add this later. So one of the challenges is going to be on here. Got to go back to our main here. We have these little things where the capital is, but it also is an overlay. So we need to know where this goes, but it's not in the center of each county, because if you put it in the center of, say, this is Tillamook, it would be up here, and this, we don't want it up here. We want it in the center of where a human would mean. If you put it in the center of this one, it would be up here. And we don't want it in the center. So as you can see, these are all off. So we have these manually applied. And so in the map editor, I want you to be able to manually apply these as well. And currently they're just eyeballed, but the information is kept So we'll copy it over. And the other thing, I just wanted to make sure that I have my county resources. We do have our county resource in. It says here. I just wanted to make sure they look. Oh, we already have a county ID, which is what I was assuming. We had some issues yesterday after I set it up. They were getting the wrong thing on them, the wrong mask, which is that little gray area. So let's go. So we're gonna bring this in. We started this yesterday. Then I got that bug that I had to fix, and all that bug was the air log was not telling us here. The debugger was not telling us what this was, but it was blitrec, which I hate. Was not they were not the same file format, and I'm assuming that the file format was different because it used to work. Because when I went in to this map here, I put a gray thing in the background, and I think that so there was no negative space. So because there was no negative space, the gray thing wasn't working. So yeah. So it was coming as a different type. It was RGB8, and it needs to be RGB. This one is an RGB8 against, or RGB-A8 is what we want. I'm surprised this one worked. Who knows? Like I said, it doesn't give you an error saying what the problem is. It just fucking craps out. That's a common Godot issue, is that they don't give you very good errors. Anyways, we have a camera on here. And this is just so we can move the shit around while we're doing testing. It doesn't have any like rules or anything on it. We could copy over. You know what we could do to make life really easy is well, we would have to do a lot. It would not make life easier because I think that there is. Let's pull open this thing. I think that there's a. I can't tell if my shit's working over here. There's scripts attached to other things. So I don't know if it's... I think this actually will work without... Let's try it. So this is what I'm thinking, is we make a scene out of this thing. Wherever my scenes folder is, there it is. Alphabetical, I would assume. So we'll make a scene out of this. We'll go camera, character, body, 2D, and we'll stick that in our scenes list here. And then we'll go back to our map editor. We'll delete this camera, and we'll bring this camera up. And we'll, at some point it will break. It's probably broken right now. Where the fuck? It didn't save it to scenes. I didn't double click into it. There we go. We can just go into here. Put this here. Put this here. Hit play. Not that play. Hit play on this one. I want to see what that says. I've never actually... Oh, couldn't save the scene. I've never actually ran a separate... What? See, it flashes up the thing. Save. I'm hitting Control S to save, and it's getting that error. The beauty of Godot. Can we save it this way without it? Did I actually do any changes to this? Let's do it just in case. I don't think I did any changes to this. Weird. It's because I made this a scene. It wants to have a camera in here, I guess. No? Maybe I accidentally deleted the camera? It would be the first time. Uh, there. No? What a weird thing. I literally don't think I'd change anything besides making that a scene. Godot sometimes has it's you can feel that it's an open source project sometimes, and I wish they would work more on fixing bugs instead of fixing uh, or adding more features. It's a common complaint that I have about where is my main scene here? Let's make sure that this thing plays. See, this doesn't have it as a scene anymore. It's a complaint I have about a lot of so I stream any video games on my other channel, and it's a similar feeling. It's very similar. I can't tell if I'm moving the camera because there's nothing to see. So I wonder now if I delete this and put in this camera thing. See, I have this under levels, which is dumb. Let's move this to scenes. Like I said, we're going to be, as we move this shit over, we're going to be changing a lot of stuff. Oh, see, it loses its baby camera. It's a character body 2D so that it can move around easily. And I'm going to put a confiner on it at some point. Yeah, that still works. All right. We had an issue where if you increase the speed, the camera moved faster. So I was just making sure that didn't happen again. Yeah, this thing has the camera at the bottom of it. Weird. Maybe it's because how I was dragging it in there. Does this one have the camera at the bottom? It doesn't. Well, what's the fucking point of that? All that. We're in the wrong scene. That's going to happen 150 times today. Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of errors because it needs to be linked to something else. Yeah, player controls. That's a bummer that I have it written this way. All right, well, we can fix that later. That's unimportant right now. I was like, hey, if we can do this easy, I'll just do it right now. So anyways, what we have is this node. We're going to like basically rebuild this map editor, which I have. Oh, now because they're named the same thing. This happened yesterday too. Because they're named the same thing. It's hard. I keep thinking that they're the same thing. We're gonna build this over here. So we have a county creator that creates the counties. That's what this node is. We're gonna put this node here. Actually, I don't need to have it called node. And I have something called, the next thing I have on this is globals. This is kind of how I do things now, is I put like nodes, because I want them to go in a certain order, and I just find it easier to have a thing that you can close that has all like the programming, the game logic underneath individual nodes. This next thing I had called globals because I call everything globals, but I'm actually gonna call it map editor globals, globals, and then we're gonna have Actually, I'm not sure how this is going to work. We might have to have duplicate variables, which I would like to not have. We can put some variables up in this thing. What is it? Auto load. The problem with variables up here is you cannot. You can't. Wait, is it auto load? I think it's auto load. Yeah. So we would put in something here and call it. Well, let's put in global. Let's just find it, and I'll show you the problem. Whoops, I went to scenes instead of scripts. Globals. You can't do anything with it here. So what I mean is you can't drag and drop stuff in there, so it's kind of fucking useless. You can have some dumb variables there, but you can't like half of my variables I just drag and drop them in there. And I think part of that is because they kind of half-assed the dragging and dropping of stuff. What I mean is I think it's an afterthought. They were like, oh, people want to be able to drag and drop. Sure, we can add that in there. That's no problem. And so that's how I do like everything now. I don't do any of the get node shit. I just always drag and drop it. Because all that get node stuff is just causes issues for me. So I just drag and drop everything in here. So this main thing has all of these global things in it. And I was hoping we wouldn't have to have duplicate stuff because I hate having to update two things when they go wrong. So this is what there's a bunch of things we're gonna have to change and adjust and fight through. But I knew that was gonna happen. So we're gonna open up my globals thing over here. I'm just waiting for it to open here. All right, so we don't have that many global things, but we do have enough for it to be an issue. And I was going to try to have as few as possible. When the real game runs, there'll be an option for you can pick the map editor from the, they'll have a list of things. Start new game, load, save, whatever. Not save, and you'll pull this. It will be able to pull from the globals. But here, if we're running this scene, where it's not going to work, I don't think. But we need to add a script here. I'm going to call it map editor globals. We're also going to use something I never do really. We're going to actually use the space. We actually could have a new folder in here too. Namespaces. I usually just like put everything in the same namespace and don't give a shit. But we're actually going to do a namespace here of map space, map editor space, and that way we'll kind of keep them separate. Whoops. So things go, we don't want them to conflict, and I think we're going to need ready. We don't need this shit. I guess I'm trying to retrain myself to not drag things. So back to this guy. We're going to need some different things here. Once again, I would like to be able to pull this straight from... Well, let's copy this stuff over. Oh, here's a path that I couldn't drag and drop. Actually, we can just take all of this. Okay. So let's get it working first, I think, and then deal with the problems after that. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best option, is to get it working first and fix things and make them better, because it's going to be quite painful to get the shit working. It's going to be somewhat of a disaster. We're going to tear out a lot of stuff. We don't need the player controls. I guess we do. So I have on my other screen here. We have the player UI. I was thinking we don't need the player controls because we'll generate it, but we actually kind of do. How will we know if it's working without the player controls? We are going to need a player controls node. For some reason on this one, I have it as a static body 2D. I don't remember why. So I used to have a collider attached to this, but one day I noticed I didn't need the collider. So like there's a rectangle, a collision rectangle, but I don't even know where that thing is. It's 20 pixels by 20 pixels. That's like some tiny little thing up here. Like it doesn't need, or no, that's this. What is this size? Yeah, I think that's the size of the collider that I used to have because I slowly was changing it as I was testing stuff. I don't think I even need that. So on the map editor, we are going to need player controls. So let's add this. I'm just going to make it a node for now though, and we'll deal with the problems after that. Player controls, we can put them in here, and we'll say player controls. We might want to call it like map editor controls or something. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. And that is going to have a script. So they're going to be the same. Once again, it's the same controls. And I don't really want to have duplicate scripts, so we're going to have to figure out a way to do this better. Once again, we can go to main, and we can just copy these player controls and make a scene of those. Hopefully this doesn't implode everything. Let's do it a different way. Instead of dragging that down there, save branches scene. Then let's go back to the map editor. Let's delete this thing and bring these player controls up. And then let's go back to what's next on the list here. This is county checker. This is to see if it already exists. If it already exists, it's going to give you different options, and then it creates the counties. So we're going to need those. Node. And then we're going to need another one. County checker and county creator. And then under the player UI, we're going to need some stuff as well. We're going to need, I wish I could just drag this shit over or copy it and paste it in here. So I'm trying again. I've tried in the past, and yeah, you can't drag between two different instances, which fucking blows. Maybe I could create a scene and then move it. I don't know. We're going to need a control. We're going to need a VBox container. I wonder if I can just create a scene and then drag it into... Let's see if that works. That would save a little bit of work here. We're going to take this, and this is in the editor. We're going to we're going to save branch as a scene. This is a whole different thing here. Player UI. I'd rather have it called that. And then we're going to go open up. I'll move this over here. We're going to open up our player UI over here. I have too many things open or saved to my quick access over here. Map editor, scenes, player UI. Scenes. I don't think you can just do this, but let's see if you can. Hey, there we go. That's one way to get things between things. Except that was player controls. No, that was just happened to be. So let's delete this one. And we'll put this up here. Wah, wah. Let's see if there's a way to do that, because that would be a lot. Godot import scenes between to it from another project. A way to export a scene and all its dependencies. This. Okay, so you can't export stuff. This is 3 years ago, though. The problem I have with 3 years ago is things have changed dramatically, and we want the newest stuff. You need to use an external file manager. Does that ever built a way to for copy export to a different project, or you just have to copy the files using an external file? Here, this tile map node might tell us. Make a copy of the contained in the new project. Open the old project. Select the tile node. Hit Control in the scene. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. A lot of people don't understand why I'm so critical of the things I use in video games I play and stuff. And part of it is if you just accept all the shit that is bad, then it's never going to get better. And so I feel like being critical of things is a good thing, you know, reasonably critical. If you just say this sucks and then you throw it away, but obviously it would be really nice. It'd be very nice to be able to drag this scene, you know, uh, between two different projects because of what I'm doing right now. You know, I got to change my music. There we go. You guys can't hear my music. I know that. So it'd be very, very nice to be able to, instead of whatever that person was saying to do, like copy the whatever, you open up this and then you copy whatever. I don't know. Each section, like fuck that. Uh, so on this is our main thing that we're heading to, and this doesn't work. So let's delete this, and we'll add a new thing here. Because this UI is different than this other UI. We're gonna add in here. Whoops, I do that all the time now. A canvas layer, and we're gonna add a control. And then we're going to add some buttons. And I think that's all we needed over here. Oh, this is a scene. Now, can I unscene you? Because I don't want that to be a scene anymore. I'm not a big fan of the scene structure like everyone else is. I only do it when it's absolutely necessary. I know a lot of people are like, you got to have a scene for everything, but I don't agree. I find this because of this, because you can't edit it over here. I guess we have to do editable. Oh wait, no, there was make local. That's what we want. Okay. So, oh, we needed a VBox container too. Of course we needed a VBox container. Add. I'm mad at myself for not remembering. And then we need these guys over here. So, this is going to be... I'm going to start naming these differently. I can already tell it's going to be a problem later. like when I'm switching between, I'm gonna get confused. So yeah, we're gonna rename this to map editor. We can put some spaces in here. All right, so first things first, we have to have in our globals thing, and we need to build this. I'm gonna clear this debugger because it's I'm missing something. We need the map. We need the map color coded. We need the scene. We're gonna have a scene. So this part, like, there's certain stuff I definitely agree need to be scenes. Like this needs to be a scene, and it's that part I love about it, that you can just create anything as a scene, etc., etc., etc. We need this county parent though. What happened here? We want this counties at the bottom. This is going to be a separate counties things. I guess it is. I was thinking we could use the same one in the main thing, but we actually can't. We're going to have to reload it. So that's fine though. So let's do this. We have this stuff down here. And one of the things, oh, we needed some other things here that we haven't added yet. We need these two sprites to be able to see what we're doing. That's an important thing. But you know, I was saying before, I really don't like that we're pulling these we have to add these maps in two different places. So let's try to get rid of these variables while we're doing this. This can go in here while we're looking at this. Let's try to get rid of these variables and just have these sprites as and I'm just going to add a node in here. Just a plain old node, and we'll call it maps. And then I'm going to add a sprite. And I'm going to duplicate that sprite. This needs to be up here. We're going to call this map sprite 2D. And then we're going to call this color coded map sprite 2D. And what we're going to need a texture, which we already put these in here yesterday. This is the texture. And then we're going to want this in our other one. And I can already see an issue here. That is that we have this centered. So we don't want this centered. We're going to have it offset like this. So these should now line up, and if we click on these, we can look at the dimensions and stuff just in case. Make sure we got the right file. They're large. That's the problem. Is they're large, and when I was complaining earlier about the size of the files, it's because they're chopping out pieces of this map. So we're getting pieces of it, but they're still larger than they should be. I think it's something to do with the file formatting, but we'll fix that later. So you might notice a bunch of white space. That's because we haven't added counties for Idaho and most of Washington. It only has one county in Washington. The rest is Oregon. So we got our maps here. Let's open up the globals for this, and let's see if we can instead of, because I hate having to assign places and things in two places, because I always forget one, and then I'm wondering why we're getting fucking bugs, blah 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 blah. We'll do this instead. Was that a node 2D? No, it was just a node. Map parent, maps parent. And then we're going to, in this, I just want to look at what we're on the wrong one. I knew this was going to happen multiple times. That's going to happen 100 times during this thing. I don't know if we can pull the texture out of there, though, the way I'm thinking. We'll just have to try it. We actually don't want to do it this way. We're going to go... I wonder if I can just drag these into here. I don't think I can because they're sprites. No. But if we change these to sprite 2Ds, I think we can get the texture off of them. And I just want it, like I said, I just want it to be so I don't have to drag this in two different spots. Here we go. And then we need this pack scene for this county, which we don't actually have one. All we have are, well, these are graphics. All we have are, oh, we need a folder called counties as well. I thought I made one yesterday, but I guess I didn't. No, no. Yeah, we need a folder called counties as well. So let's add a folder in here. And we can call it something else, county nodes or something, but county seems fine. County scenes are, well, we have them right here. We could rename this to old. County scenes might actually be a better name for it instead of counties, but we'll leave it as counties for now because that's what it is in the code. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh, we don't have we need to put in a packed scene for, it's going to be one of these, but we need to adjust it to match what we want it to be because it needs some information basically. And on these ones, our top thing, I believe, is select county. And we want it to be called county. Yeah, it's called select county right now. We need to adjust some stuff there. And we can just call it county. And I've never liked the name select county because that's what it's from Unity. It was called select county and it was used to select the county. That's now changed. It's now a script that just like holds a bunch of shit. So first, let's pull this off of here. Yeah, we're going to pull this off of here and put it in our new scenes folder. I don't know why that one's blue. We'll put this in our scenes folder. Whoops, not add child node. I'm so used to adding a child node that I just immediately went that. Save branch as scene. Can I save the root node branch as an instantiated scene? To create an editable copy of this current scene, duplicate it using the file system doc context menu. Or create an inherited scene using well, we have it right here. We're just gonna we'll make a copy. We'll duplicate it down here. We'll just call this county scene. I mean, it says scene at the end. It has, with the file thing, but we'll put this down here. And then we'll close these ones. And what are we doing with this character body? I don't know. We'll close that. We'll open this puppy up and we're going to clear out all the data on here because it shouldn't have any of this data attached to it. Actually, it should. The county data, it should not. Capital sprite. It seems like that's getting assigned at some point. That's like literally just a sprite. I wonder why we have it exported if I don't need to know what it is. Let's run main and see what happens. Main should still work. We haven't fucked with it. Let's go to remote. Oh, look at this. Are these all the same? No. Their first three numbers were the same. We must be assigning that at some point. Let's find out. Let's see how that's getting attached here. We are on 2D 4X capital. It's actually going to be lowercase. Capital sprite, probably. Oh. See, here's some of me shit talking myself. I was like, oh, I never do this get node bullshit anymore. But here's some old code where I'm getting this thing. We don't need this shit. We can do this differently. We'll leave it in this. We'll break the game by doing this. Hero spawn is also, no, it's not. No, it is. Wonder why I can't just drag this shit in here. It's gonna break this right now, but we're gonna be changing this anyways. So what it's doing is I'm in a remote still. I was like, wait. Let's stop here. This should still not be. This one was dragged in. What is this capital sprite called? We were getting it. Get node sprite 2D county overlay node capital sprite. Hero spawn node. Actually, I think if we hit play, well, it's not going to work because I broke these other ones. But in this county scene, it's going to work. Then this thing is this sprite, is this thing. And we're going to create that now. We need this sprite to go. This texture. And this is the whole, kind of the whole point is getting rid of this area 2D and this collision thing. We're going to get rid of this collision thing. We're going to get rid of this area node because we don't need it. All we need is the sprite, sort of. We're going to get there. We're going to rename this to just county node 2D. And we're going to make sure everything else is generically named. What does this button do? Oh, yeah, that's we're going to rename this to this whole, the battle control battle button. It's a battle button. We want to make sure that the button works, you know. And let's see here. All right, so that button is a clear button that just goes through over the top of everything. So what else do we need here in our map editor? What is this little? Because we have like a temporary one. So yeah, we need a mask sprites too, and then they need to know which ones. Just making sure that said 2D and not just 2. So we're gonna need a mask sprite. We're gonna need the county sprite and a mask sprite. A lot of setup for this. This is gonna be a lot of, actually just a ton of work on things. And like I said, we're gonna rename this script, I think. So I haven't named in map editor. I just called county. And I don't know if I want to, sometimes it gets confusing because there's county data and then there's county. I think we should we'll leave it select county for right now, but let's put in our list here. There's a lot of things counting on select county being called select county. You know, we can do a find replace, but I don't want to do that until we get everything working. Let's try to break it as little as possible. So on this, though, we have a county data that's empty because it's going to get applied as it gets created. That's all the same. this is just empty nothing. Oh no, we have something in here. We have a Z level, which we are gonna have to do. The mask goes first. Yeah, we're gonna have to mess with those Z levels. Try to remind my brain here that's because there's gonna be a point where it's like, oh fuck, what's going on, and it's gonna be because of the Z levels. So this county scene has everything. Now we need to adjust the count or select county in one, and so we have select county here, and then on this other one, it's called county. We're gonna need this information. Oh, there is so like I said, I copied over the code. I was like, where are they getting this? Why are these counties outlined like this? How did this happen? And there it is right there. So that's why I did it offline, was because I wanted to. We already have this. Attached nodes. I kind of like that name there. I have that. County population. We're definitely not fucking with anything. You know what? This is fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then in my editor, did I drag this shit over? I did. Okay. I assumed that's what I did, but I just got to double check once again because they're both called the same shit. It's going to get kind of confusing. This is much larger, obviously. This has a lot more going on. So then we got to put in what its mask sprite is. And these are in a different order, and you know how I feel about that, or maybe you don't. I like everything to be in the same fucking order. What? There we go. Let's build this again, make sure we didn't lose our shit. And what thing is on top, though? The mask is on top of the county sprite. So let's actually undo that. Let's put that back. The mask, it goes mask county, because the county is going to get cut out. And then we have the capital. I guess these are all fine to be lined up. All right, so we have everything that we need here now. The county data, we're getting that from our actual resources. It's data. And we got to have a county data for every. So let's compare what they look like, because we need different stuff in the county data now. We're going to pin this. This already is pinned. Perfect. We don't need the clock today. We don't need the work today. We don't need faction data today unless something catastrophic happens. Token movement, we don't need to do today. Select. Battle stuff, we don't need. War, let's try to keep this as mellow as possible. So here's our county data currently on this one. Then on the map editor, we have a county data that has all this additional shit in it. And I can't remember if so this is from Wind of Flatus's code. It says on select. I can't remember if I'm actually using this. It's called territory. He likes the word territory. I like the word county. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this over. And we'll rename that. Where's my county data? I just literally had it. Oh, it's because it's in the other script. Or other project, I mean. We'll put this down here at the bottom. And we're going to go through. We already have a county ID. We already have a county name. County node. What? This is the node that is going to be. This should be at the top here. So basically, we're gonna have the node that is the county, that is the actual county, is gonna be attached to this, so the county data knows. We need a color, which I'm surprised this doesn't know its color. We must assign it and just be like, fuck off after that. So we'll put that under here. This is the county color, though. We should probably rename this to county color. Let's leave it as color for now, because we got a bunch of shit we're copying. Mask texture and map texture. These are just temporary things, and the reason I have them in, they're gonna be held over somewhere for like when they go to the next. Actually, it's just part of the creation process they're used. I'm gonna put a note in here. I don't think we need them as exports. I had them exports because I was doing some testing. I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on. These are used just to pass some data around. Probably I should find a better way to do this. Okay. Starting position, and I think this is the local position. Thank you, past Josh. These ones do need to be... I kind of feel like this stuff should be at the top. We'll put a thing here. What is it? What the fuck? I would export group. County location. County game. County Godot. So I wanted to put these ones are all like the counties settings. Data, no. It's like its locations, it's got its nodes, it's got its game objects. Oh my god, that's from Unity. They're not all nodes though. Well, county somethings. I don't want to be stuck on that forever. And then this is more like strings and things. County other somethings for now. And we'll figure out what that shit is later. Then we have this action. I don't know if I'm using this though. We'll have to look at that. And then selected, I think, is something I added later. We're gonna have to see what's going on with this. I'm gonna put a note here for that too. We will have to see if this is still used. So I do have some questions for myself, basically. Notice all this shit going on. When we run this, and it's not set up this way, if I can still run it, hopefully I haven't broke it. When you hover over this, if you were to click on one, do we want it to stay that way? I think we do, but it will be weird because then the other ones you hover over, we might change how it's done, but that's what that thing is. What is going on with all these errors here? Idle workers, I somehow broke something here with this paste. I think we need one more of those. And then selected, I like to keep these things with their things there. And I have a feeling that I am sort of like half-assedly using this part of the code, and I just never updated it. So I'm gonna probably, that's gonna be like a bug later, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is it doing this? I'm gonna cut this and put it down here. Like I said, I like to keep when they're getter setters, I like to keep their actual things with them. It used to be a thing where I kept these all off, just like stashed away, and then I could never find them, and I would need to find them for some reason, and it'd be a disaster. So now I just keep them with them. And next, we have all of this stuff here built now, and we have a county data. Now we need a county data for every, what is this? Oh, this is in my compiled folder. We could probably get rid of that. It doesn't like it when you compile into here. I used when I whatever. It doesn't matter. We can just probably delete that folder. In fact, let's just delete that folder. One less folder. And county scenes, which I'm gonna rename this to old. Probably is gonna break everything. I don't know why everything jumped around like that when I did that. Then we're going to, so currently we have the old map here too. So on the main thing, we're going to want to have the map editor map be used. That bigger, better map that we made. But let's make sure we have all the resources we need. So we need 7 resources. And this says, oh, these are the resources of the resources. So that's one of the confusing things. I have resources and then resources down here. I need to come up with a new name for that. So we have these county resources. Now, if we should select these, we should have county map stuff. I don't know. These IDs will be assigned as well when we run things. This is gonna, when we hit start on this, it's just gonna implode. That's what's gonna happen first. And once the implosion is done, oh, it just dawned on me though. I don't think the county ID is actually saved. It doesn't matter. We're gonna generate the county ID by when we run it. But we do need these to have a number in front of them. And why we need that, I think, let me double check. Those are the counties that are generated. Yeah, we do. So it goes through at some point and it checks all of the things, and we just want to make sure that they have the right order, because if they get in the wrong order, they get fucked up. So this is 2. Wasco here is 3. Whoops. And they're going to be named on their own. So basically, they don't have to have, these ones don't have to have this, but it's easier to have these county resources have the same. It's easier just to keep track later for when we actually build the counties. Oh, I'm renaming the, no, I am, right thing. I got confused there again. Then we're gonna need to duplicate this. This is gonna be, and I'm gonna pull this off of here. I'm gonna move this over to my other screen here. So Wasco should be 4. 0 is Tillamook, or Cowlitz. 1 is Tillamook. 2 is Douglas. We need Douglas in here. Whoops, I'm not typing. I'm looking over to my other screen to see what I'm typing on. 2 is Douglas. And 3 is Portland. And 4 is Wasco. Duplicate this. Duplicate this. 5 is Umatilla. And then we're going to duplicate this. And then 6 is Harney. We might actually have to have a number on this. The problem is that this is alphabetical. And if it's alphabetical, it throws everything off. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. These are not going to work, though. Go back to our map editor here. The reason why they're not going to work is because we need it, them to be correctly color-coded here. And so let's go to cowlets. We're going to select their color with this dot. That's their color. The problem I was having yesterday was I wasn't double-click. They weren't changing, basically, because I wasn't double-clicking enough. So I'm being very careful about what I double-click. We're just going down this way. Douglas. Portland. It's easier to tell this time because these are closed. And Wasco. I guess is this one. It's easy to tell. So this is how I was doing. I had a geography test in like 10th, not 10th grade, when I was like 12 or something, 10 or 12. And they wanted me to name all the states, but I was able to memorize a list of the states, but I couldn't keep their orders straight, like where they were located. You know, I'd get like, you know, the Midwest would get confusing for me. So I memorized the states in a list starting in the upper left of, you know, so Alaska was in the upper left. Then you went down each one, you know, and then you got to Washington. Then you got to Oregon, you got to California, you know, and I memorize it in that order. And that's what we're doing here is we're just going down. The first one you hit, and then you go to, you know, this next one from here, you go to here because this is the next one over. Like you don't go to here, you go straight down here. So this is going to be Cowlitz, you know, this is going to be Tillamook, this is going to be Douglas, Portland, and then the next one we have is Wasco. So this is Wasco, and whether we like it or not. And then underneath that is Umatilla, and then Harney. Is that right, though? I feel like this isn't Umatilla. I feel like this is Harney, and this is Umatilla. Okay, we'll save that. I'm just going to double check. Umatilla's 5. It would have been nice if I put a thing on here that said which one you're clicking on. I think that is Harney, and this is Umatilla. I think I have them swapped. I think their order's just wrong. Umatilla County maps. So these are obviously not exactly how the maps are. Yeah, Umatilla's up here because I cut out the counties. This is wrong. This is a typo. That's Umatilla and that's Harney. So these should be swapped both in our... in both games. Don't want to get confused later, which also means that their color coding is off. Harney. Can't believe I remembered Harney's this one. It's because there's nothing out in Harney. And then this color. Man, without the eye drop tool thing, it'd be hellish. Just making sure all the colors are different. Okay, then we're gonna rename it over in our other thing, and then I'm gonna take a quick break. I just want to make sure that these are matching so that later, like I said, I'm just not like, what the fuck is going on here? Or maybe we were going down it. Wait. The last one we should get to is Umatilla. If we go through my counting system. So Umatilla, Harney should be 5. And then let's fix their Color coding here. Wait, Harney's right. Oh, I just had their numbers off over here. All right. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. And I got to stop my music. Whoops, wrong thing. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And turn off my break timer. And we will adjust my music that you guys can't hear. I don't know what I'm going to listen to. And it doesn't matter to you guys, so, because you cannot hear it. All right, so the next thing now that we've copied over all this crap is to put this code in here. We want to add this, well, and we got to connect those buttons. We have the counties folder, okay. We're going to add a script, create a new script called county checker, and we're going to put it in the scripts folder, in the map editor folder. And we're going to stick it in here, and we're going to copy over this code. We'll just copy it all. It has some directory shit in here that's only going to work. We're going to rename some of this stuff. Let's fix this, I guess. called when the node enters the scene tree for the first time. I don't think we need that. All right, I'm retraining myself. I don't know why. I thought I put, oh, for the county checker, I don't have the threads in there. We're not using player space. We're going to use map editor globals. We can just, I can't rename it, but I can find and replace Control H, current page document with map editor globals. Let's make sure I spell that shit right. Map editor globals. Is that not what I call this? We got to put this map space, map editor space. Go to the next one here. Go to the next one. And yeah, we're going to have an array that we're going to add some shit to over there too. We're going to have bugs. It's going to happen. Then we're going to go. Did I rename this or did I? So this is using. We are going to have this player UI. Did I delete it? I was trying to copy over the one thing. We're going to have a player control. I was trying to drag this over so it would work the same. I don't think this is going to work, though. Player controls enabled. That's actually what we want. This input's going to be totally different, though. Let's have it its own thing. It's going to be kind of a bummer, but it is going to be totally different. So let's delete this out of here. And we'll just put a new map editor controls or something. Oh, I have it down here. Here it is right here. That has it's the scene, though, that I copied over. I thought I did that earlier. And I said I wanted it in there because it's easy to find, and then I didn't. We'll move this up here, and we'll just name this map editor controls. I don't think it actually uses any globals. Let's see if it does. Oh, it does. No, that's a global from the map editor. We don't need, we can copy this over. A lot of copying today. Normally, you know, I'm writing all this shit from scratch. Map editor controls. They are significantly different. So we're going to have to change how we do our controls on the other thing too. Are they? They're going to be somewhat similar. Though. Let's just keep them separate from now. We can combine them later. Like I said, let's get this shit working first. And then we can worry about making it pretty later. And we're going to paste that. Map editor controls. I guess I could have done a find replace. Map editor controls. Don't know where this shit's up here. This is going to be map editor space. Map editor. I should have, when I was making this originally, I should have, oh, right. This is this is why that was like that. I wonder if I can do it like texture. I can. All right. We're already making progress here. We have 150,000 things here. Okay, so this county data is It doesn't know what this is because it's in the other namespace. So we're going to have to use... And so these are called select county in this one. What else we got? Map, editor, controls. We're definitely going to have to go through and try to combine some of this shit. There's no point in having a bunch of duplicate code that we're going to have to be fucking with, because then we would have to also, like, if one thing changes. The map editor controls are pretty much the same after we fix things. Then we're going to have to do the county creator here. New script again. County creator. And this is going to create the counties, and then we'll be able to save the counties. And then once we have the counties saved, we'll pull them up with the main thing. We'll pull them from the folder, and it will work, hopefully. We want to browse, though, here. And we want to go to scripts. And we'll create. And then we'll go back to our other one. And like I said, this is going to be create counties. Is that what I called this thing? I guess I did. We're not going to copy the whole thing then. We're going to copy... I guess it doesn't really matter. Copy the whole thing, and then we'll just rename the top thing. Then we'll go over here. And we'll go up to... we called County Creator. I don't know why this diagnostics keeps appearing. This one is asynced, and then we used to have this run on ready, but it no longer does this, so we can get this ready out of here. Map editor. Now we need to have some namespaces in here. Map editor space. Yeah, it would have been a lot nicer if I had planned ahead better, basically, when I was writing the other one. And hopefully that all of this works here. Texture. What do we got down here? This is going to be under... right now, this is going to be under map. Once again, we're gonna try to combine all this. Wait, root node. Okay, so on our root node, I was having some weird issue that I haven't had before, where it was saying that these things weren't in the tree when I was running them. It was just saying that they weren't. It wasn't in the tree, and so I don't know if it's because they're nodes. Never encountered that before. No, but this is a node. But whatever. So all I did is I just attached a script on here to get around it. And I called this just the root node script. And I just stuck it on here. And that's all it has on it, is this pausing thing. Is wherever this thing is. The ability to pause things, to await things. So we will do that as well. Get rid of that. And then we need a namespace in here, though. I saw it auto-populating map space. So I'm betting we have map space in here somewhere still. Huh. Okay. Guess not. What is this thing's problem? We need to be using... No, we are using... Oh, right. This is called select county in this script. And this is, man, map editor globals. I totally should have just prepared this better. Luckily, there's not that many. See, I prepared this. I named it the same, but I didn't get it. Didn't do a good enough job. Okay. So let's go through what we've done. Let's build it and see what kind of garbage implodes on our face here. Oh, we got to fix this, the UI too. It's currently empty. We're going to need this UI to work. So let's do that first. Huh. Let's do this first, I guess. This control, we need to expand to the whole thing. Yes. This VBox, we should have it. No. Well, we can put these buttons. Once we start typing these buttons, I think the VBox will work. Generate counties. And then this is going to be called Generate Counties button. And then we're going to need some signals in here too. This is Save Counties button, because sometimes we're going to want to generate the counties and we're not going to want to save them. Save Counties button. And how does this look? Well, we don't need button at the end. That looks fine. It's kind of tiny, but that looks fine. Then we're going to need to connect these. And so if you notice, I deleted some stuff that I copied over. One of them was in the county creator. It had a thing in ready, but what we really want is this generate all. We're going to have this generate all connect to county creator. And then the save thing is going to, where are you? We don't need this readme. I went up to Godot 4.3 dev 1 or something, and then I immediately had some weird issue that was not unrelated to the update. But when I Googled it, it brought up that like people complaining about the issues with Dev 3, so I rolled back to this. I'm trying to stay on this stable thing. I really think they need to work on the bugs, like I was saying earlier. And I feel like maybe staying on the stable version is a better option than being on the cutting edge. I like to be on the cutting edge of the tech, though. I'm a big fan of that. Player UI canvas, that's not what we're dealing with here. I don't think. We don't have a script on here. Maybe we don't need one. What we're looking for here is, where did we, there's no signal? Oh, we're on the wrong one. I wanted this one. Where does this, oh, it's got its own little script. So does this thing. What are we doing with this script? Oh, I stuck the script on itself. Oh, and I had it generate its own little create counties. Wonder why I did that. We don't need that. And then what does this thing do? Okay, so this just this needs its own script because it's gonna well we'll just copy it over. because it's going to save map button. It's not the map. Oh, I have it set. It says save map. So we're going to go back to this other one and we're going to create a script. We're going to add a script. I guess this either way is fine to attach a script here. We're saving the counties, not the map. I guess it is the map. It's the map of the counties. We don't want it there, though. And this is going to be called save counties editor space. Whoops, editor. We don't need this ready in here. I was probably leaving that in preparation for some other thought. I don't think we need this. Let's see if we get any errors. We do. Globals. Yep, that's what we want. Basically, it checks to see if there's any kids in here, and if there's already kids in there, it knows not to generate them when you save it. There are no counties generated. Oh, it's checking first to make sure that you have counties generated, then whatever. And then it saves them in there. It actually will save over. It will save them twice, which is bad. So let's do something here. Let's save counties button will save the counties twice. We'll turn that. That's a bug, definitely. We don't want that. And then we need to do a couple more things. We're almost to the point where we're going to hit start and watch the catastrophe happen in real time here. So under the map editor, let's save this shit. We didn't put a signal here, though. We need to signal itself. We need this to go to connect to here. And we're going to say, oh, I have it button up, huh? Okay. And save that. Declare type in namespace. Battle log. Oh, we never had a namespace in here? It looks like this is what we were working on before, but I felt like I was finally ready to start doing this other map editor part. I kind of jumping the gun on it. I should have worked on it a little bit more, but I was to the point of player UI canvas. This doesn't have it. This must be the new thing that no, this is old. But it was my 100th episode yesterday, and I was like, I might as well do something major instead of keep working on. I mean, everything feels major to me, but this is really major. All right, so those namespace issues are gone or fixed. So I guess the only thing we can do at this point is wait. We got to do one other thing. We got to go to here, and we got to add some elements. We need 7 elements. And there we go. And then we need to put in those counties. This is how it knows what to do. If you don't have them in here, it will croak, but it will also, if it's null, they'll croak. We should probably fix that too. It should just report that it's null. Instead of it croaking and throwing a bunch of errors, it should report that there's a null thing. If the array in actually, I guess there's no way to really check that. I mean, there is probably a way to check it, but it's not going to do it the way we want. Then we need to put in our new county pack scene, which we actually didn't really look at very much. So let's double check that our scenes our county scene here. Looks right. So, where it doesn't have a county data yet, it's going to get assigned a county data when it runs. That's why we have that array, actually. All right, let's run and see what happens. We're going to get a bunch of errors, but that's just part of life. Oh, I ran the wrong one. I knew that was going to happen. What did I say? Play this scene. Looks good, huh? Okay, stop. Stop. All right, we didn't even get any bugs to help us with our issues. So let's go through how this should work. It should go down. We don't really care about this. This is some other thing. Oh, it has to be two because this one has one? Oh, no, I guess, I don't know. That's a weird thing that this is doing that, but maybe I just don't understand how that shit works. We don't care about that much. County creator goes through map editor controls. You know, it acted like it died before it was even done. Well, no. We have the sprite. So what is the first thing it's going to hit? These globals need to be up here. And then what do we got in our globals? We have all of our things set. We have the county parent set. We have the pack scene set. We have the color coded map. We have the normal map. We should turn on the normal map, by the way. And it would have still worked if we couldn't see that. We do need to change some shit though, actually. This, we need to be able to click through it. I guess we can deal with that later, but we should be able to click through the, it doesn't, I don't even see the, I guess we don't need to worry about that. It's only controls. The controls we want to be able to click through as well. I think it's ignore. Maybe it's pass. It's every time I do this. I think it's an ignore. I guess we can look at this one. Oh, if it needs those other variables in that other scene, they're not going to be existing. Huh. I wonder how that works. I guess we're going to find out here. What are we looking for? Pass or ignore is what we want. Okay. So back to this. We need to get some errors here. So we got the globals. This all looks right. The controls, we don't have this rectangle, but I don't actually feel like we need this rectangle. What are we doing with this map image? Oh, this is how I was setting the size of the area for where you could click. And then this is all the clicking of stuff. Let's try this again here. I think the issue is going to be I'm using the player space, but those variables aren't in play. Just a black screen was not very useful as a bug. Let's see if it's trying to like generate something. It shouldn't do anything until we click a button. We'll give it a second though. Scene inherited from cannot be assigned to an object of node. This is our, tell me where this is. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, so this was on a this was on a static body before, now it's on just a node. But even then, it should give us some other, the name does not exist in this context. Maybe that's why it was a static body. I was wondering why this was in a static body on some of these. Static body 2D, get mouse position. So this thing needs to be a static body. Like I said, we're gonna be into like a clusterfuck of things that have bugs that are gonna happen. We should have still had the. We should have just still paused time. Look at these errors. So this is from me moving my mouse, though. So I thought I had this thing where we have an issue here with Lord Mac. How's it going? I don't think I was dragging rectangular shape. I still don't know why I had this rectangular shape over here. Yeah, nice to have you drop by. How's the cold? Or you're not in the cold. I'm in the cold. One more day of cold. That's it for probably the whole year, and I like to complain about it. I don't think I need that rectangular shape still. Object reference not set to. It sure looks like it wants it, though. There was just like a new rectangle sitting in here before. In the other one. Whoops, did it again. That's going to happen 400 times. 400 times. Yeah, it's back to the moving the mouse around thing. Yeah, I added Idaho in yesterday. We're not, oh, it's a different error. This is because we included that player's space. Oh, so this is the camera controls that I was trying to use both. So I wonder if we can, This is the problem we're having? We might have to put this as its own script. There's no counties in Idaho yet, but I just figured we might as well. I was stitching some maps together, so I figured let's do all the ones that I have. So it seems to me it can't get to these player controls because they're not running on the other scene. So we are going to have to make a copy of this thing. I was trying to be lazy and it didn't work out. We're on the other thing though. It never works out. That's the thing with programming, I feel, is you can't be lazy, and I try so hard. So that's the camera controls that I copied over. We honestly don't even need these camera controls to be that hardcore. We can just delete that, and we can add in just another camera here, and we'll just put it up here. And then I was just being lazy and hoping for better usage here. And we'll put it down here. I can't really see where that is. It is when we get like the camera controls will matter later, but not for this. Oh, I hit play again. God damn it. I can make this my main scene right now. They're not. So I was trying to do camera controls that would work for both this map editor part and the main game, but I also don't want them to like be touching. I really don't like this big thick line right here, but I think I'm gonna just try to mentally ignore it because if the camera controls worked that I just got rid of, we'd be able to zoom in and see that this little thing, this lake or whatever, is its actual size. So now we're going to click this button and hope that the world doesn't end. All right, so it's generating the masks, and we got one bug, and nothing's working though. That's okay. It totally could be. What do we have here? Aha, here we go. This should be map editors. Restart. This is why I broke the generating and the saving of the stuff apart. God damn it, I'm going to do that 100 more times. I guess it needed to be apart anyways. It could be, I don't know what it is. We'll see it in a second here. So I'm just watching this little thing. We're getting there. This is an interesting, now I really wish I could move the camera. It's a very interesting bug. I haven't seen this one yet. They're all supposed to be green, that's right. Oh, and their location is in the right spot. Like Portland's right here. See where my mouse is? Yeah, yeah. That's the game that I've decided done with the 2D 4X. We're just gonna make a puzzle game, and not like a mental puzzle game. You just drag these until they fit. So yeah, they're actually in the right spot, but they're in the wrong spot over here. So let's go take a look at where this counties is. First off, that looks right. That's right. I'm just making sure these are not somewhere weird. What did I have this node? You know, I didn't have this inside of a node before. I just had these things sitting. Let's put it back without this map node and see what happens. Whoops. This little size also matters here. It's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if the county data, these should start out as 0. Uh-oh. There's the problem. What is this scale fucking thing doing? This so Win, I think it was actually Win, the person who wrote the thing that I'm stealing his code from. I was messing with something once, and he was just like, "You don't want to ever use scale," and I was like, "But I use it all the time," and he was right. You don't want to use scale in Godot unless it's absolutely necessary. Where's the shit? Yeah, here's the issue, probably. Because it makes no sense. Oh, god damn it. How it works makes no sense to me. I'm sure people are like, no, it's the best way ever. and no, it is, and it's so I was having all these issues with scale, and it scales things differently. All right, so some of these are in their location, but now we have another issue. It should be highlighting them. So them being off-centered isn't that the end of the world either. That's an easy fix. I'm gonna fix this camera thing. It would really be nice to move this camera around. So let's put this. Let's add a child. Let's do a character body 2D. Actually, I don't want it to be a child. I want it to be the thing here. And we're gonna go camera, and then we're gonna add in a script real quick, and we're gonna create a new script. I don't want to have two different scripts, but whatever for this. And we're going to put this under here. I just want to be able to move the camera around, and we can't do it with the current thing. I guess I already did this slightly. I guess I did that earlier. We're gonna need this token spawner out of here too. And I named it the same thing? That seems highly unlikely, but I guess I did. All right, let's see if we can move this around. Whoops, of course we can move it on that one. I wonder if I should just set this as the main scene for now. Let's do that, because otherwise I'm going to do that 150 times. I'm not pushing the button, by the way. That was nice. I think it has gravity or something on. We don't want any gravity. Slide on ceiling. What does our other one look like? It has grounded, slide on ceiling. Block on wall. I don't remember actually fucking with any of this. Slope. I think I just had this. You know what though? What is this? This is like some pre-generated thing. I didn't like look closely what this code is. This is like some pre-generated camera code. I got a typo in there. I've never seen that happen before, where it gives us some pre-generated shit. We don't want it to do that. Unity does that all the time, where it will pre-generate stuff, and sometimes it's useful. We got an extra one of these guys in here. We need a namespace. Namespace. Map editor space. And this is going to be map editor controls. Controls enabled is what I called it. It wasn't player controls, but it was similar. Basically, we want certain things. Well, what is this thing even doing? If these are enabled, that's not going to work right, actually. So what happens is before you generate the map, if you move around the mouse, it will freak out. So I have it set so you can't do anything until you generate the mouse or the map, which is what this is doing. But this is actually, we don't need this. And then we're going to make sure that this has the right, I rename this thing. Map editor, camera controls, camera controls. Make sure we're on the right thing. And then build this puppy. And then change this music that you guys can't hear. Then we should be able to put this camera in here. All right, all that for really nothing, but whoops. All right, let's change this to the main scene. Project settings. I don't even know. I've never changed the main scene. Wait, you can right click, I think, and say. No, you cannot. It would be a project thing, I would assume. I guess I'm gonna have to Google it. Change main scene. Five years ago. Project application. Let's see if this is the same. Where Richland? Yeah, is that a part of Washington or something? Walla Walla. Yeah, there's a lot of Native American names out here. Multnomah is the name of the county I live in. There's a lot of actually. When I was originally doing this, I was laughing a lot at the different names. Project. This is from 5 years ago, though. Project. Okay, there is no project. How about Okay, wait. Application is right there. Oh, we're in the wrong thing here. Application. Here we go. There we go. Walla Walla is a capital in Victoria 2. Oh, you know, I never played Victoria 2. Well, I did for 10 seconds one day. All right, so our little zoom thing works. But our mouse no longer works, or our hover over thing, and all I did was change the whatchamacallit, the scaling, because the scaling was off. So there's something else we have wrong going with this. It's probably in the same our county scene, which we knew was gonna, like, we knew that this was gonna be a disaster going forward here. County data should be empty. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Their positions are 0. Is this thing's position 0? Its scale is 0. It has a Z index of 10, huh? That actually could be part of the problem. This should be... Let's put... So we want the county to not be on top. Let's put the county at 5. The mask should be on We'll put it at 10. And I'm not sure what you were saying, which was the success thing. If it was when everything was all jumbled, then yes, that was the success. We want to make sure so that the mask may have been behind, and then we'll figure out what. Oh yeah, we got. I don't know how that works so easy. Yeah, so that worked, except that these are a little too white. Oh, and they're also in the wrong spot. So that was that one problem, though. The mouse is still working. It was just over. Uh, this is Cowlitz, and I'm actually on Cowlitz, even though Cowlitz is because we're getting. So one of the things we should probably look at here is we can turn off this. Yeah, so it's actually happening in the right spot. I mean, that where our mouse is the right spot. I can't tell if this is a speck on my screen. It looks like, oh no, it looks like it might be a speck in the. So we just got to figure out why these are not being placed in the right position, which is not the end of the world, actually. There's something that's just slightly off, is what's going on. Maybe some math. So let's look at these things, though. I feel like it's probably like one of these is off, so this didn't really have any effect on it. We can put this back in here. At least I don't think it had any effect on it. I made it pause a frame there. Yeah, it didn't have any effect on it. I don't know why these are just so white, too. I think I gotta fix the shader issue for that. Make sure there's no scale on this puppy. We just created this thing, though. Let's compare it to the one that works. We didn't, we are getting this differently. I'm pulling this. I'm pulling the texture from this instead of dragging the texture over, having it pull from the texture automatically. I wonder if that has something to do with it. We could do that. Let's put that back the way it was, just because we know the one that I had working. We got to compare to the one that I had working. Let's go to our. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this. We don't need this. Let's pin this guy because this is what we're gonna be fucking with here. So originally I had these were textures 2D, and I changed them because I don't want to have to drag these into two different spots. We're gonna get some errors there, but that's on purpose. Let's build this if it will let us. Okay, it's not gonna let us. Let us go fix these errors then. You're just gonna go like this. It could be that when we changed it from a text, like pull this texture in, it gets weird. Like the size is different or something. We got one more somewhere. It could also be nothing. It could not. It could be not that at all. Wrong one. Then we'll drag these in here. I just don't want to have to do this permanently. This is not going to be the permanent solution. But like I said, let's get this shit working first. Then, and I knew, like I said, I knew it was going to be an absolute disaster moving this over. So and it was worse yesterday. This is quite bright on my eyes. All right, so it had no effect on the where that was getting the information was had no effect. We'll leave this like this though for now, and we'll just switch it back later. So what are the sizes on this? 2, and is this one match? They got to be the same size, otherwise shit goes south quickly. So what is different about when we generate the counties on this one? This is the main thing here. We go through every pixel. One of these, I bet you, is fucked up and it's pulling the wrong info. That's probably what it is. Let's go back to our other code. Actually, I'm going to take a break real quick. When I started working on this, I said, this is going to take more than 6 hours. I don't know why because, 2 days, 2 weekends, I do 3-hour streams. Color coded, get image. We're getting the size. The county data is coming from there. This is all the same. We're converting this over. This is the error I was having yesterday, is this was not set up right. We got the county ID. I wonder if there's some setting in this. I feel like there's got to be some setting in this scene that we're using as our. It's already open. There's got to be something in here that's fucking shit up. I feel like it's got to be that. These don't matter that much. They're all turned off too. I mean, it will matter eventually, but Wind, how's it going? Sprite centered property. Oh, look at that. Do you figure that out while you were driving? I think you're right. I think he's right. He's right. So Wind is the person who wrote the real code that I've stolen. That I have stolen. That was it. That was the problem. Now let's see. We got to figure out why this is so white. We want this to be a different level of white. Jesus Christ. Showed up for 2 seconds and solved the problem. What do they say? What do the kids say now? What a boss. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, though. That was perfect timing. And I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. A baller. That's what my cousins call it. My cousins are like 10 years younger. They're like 40. Oh, my God. Anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Let me. Yeah, I know. I'm 50 now, and it's weird. One in my oldest cousin's 40. But yeah, I got a flight to the airport in LA, and he said he was gonna pick me up, and then it kept expanding the amount of time. Oh, you'll just wait like 15 minutes, 2 hours, forever. And I was like, I'll just take a Lyft. And he was like, "Man, you're baller." I think that means you're rich. I don't know, but I also took it as meaning you're like hardcore. I don't know. I don't know the can't keep up. But yeah, they call everyone baller. Okay, so we gotta fix this other thing. Baller's 90s? Oh, man, I don't know. I feel like 90s I would know. We gotta fix this so it's not white. We want it white, but we also want it not white. And you can also see the color going through, and it's kind of interesting to do it this way because you can see that this county wasn't made as well. Like I didn't make it as well as the other counties because it's like kind of bleeding through a little bit more than the rest. But we just need to turn the map back on. That's an easy fix for that. And then we need to fix this white part. So where the fuck is that in my editor thing? I remember seeing a shader thing. What is this shit? Okay, so this is in counties, and I don't have this in counties anymore. So we need this. County doesn't exist anymore. We're gonna go like this. Yeah, this is what sets that. I'm gonna put a note on this so I know for the future. I don't know what's the modern equivalent of baller. So this is gonna be in select county. We need this at the bottom. And I'm going to put a note on this that says this controls the masks in the county needs to be updated. It's weird that would just... Okay, so we do need that thing. The thing earlier, I was like, I don't even know if I need this shit anymore. I do need it. This is the thing that we need. Because it never subscribed. And where was that? That was in ready. Now, I stopped using the lobster thing. The lobster, like we were talking about. We're going to generate these counties. Well, that didn't work. We're getting there though. It's something we got to put another thing. We'd have to invoke these. I left that out because I wasn't sure if I needed it, and now we know we needed it. Right here, on territory select. Selected equals false. Where are we doing that? That's going to be... We might as well rename this while I'm here. It was just working, so I never bothered learning how it even worked. That's if something just works, county select here. So this should be under our, not that. This. All we're doing is setting the You know, all we're doing is setting the mask sprites thing to less. So basically, let me look at this. We might not have to even do it this way at all. We could just go. Is this thing running? No. Let's run this up here and move it to my other screen here. I'm gonna generate the counties though. All right, so they're generated on the other screen. We don't need to see them right now. Let's do Tillamook, and if we go to the mask one and we turn it on, you can't see. Well, it'll be turned off immediately. But if we go to this and put it at like, well, you know what we can do is we can look at the other one. Yeah, so we need it like at 50 or something. That's what we want it to look like. Is that outlined? It is outlined. The outline works, I think. Let's see what this. Well, let's stop this one. I feel like running like tons of different things all at the same time. Let's see what this one's setting is. I wonder how that didn't come over. That seems like a pretty good value. $171. $171. So when I set this though, I think I can just where's my county creator? Um, you know where we're doing that is I just put in another number right here. Could this be the easy way? Um, let's see what that does. And then pretty soon we'll try the saving thing here. That did not work. It might not know what I was gonna say. That would be so easy if that was the solution. I feel like I'm using this somewhere, but I don't remember using this. I thought, like I said, sorry, I want territory selected. Did I bring this over or did I just say fuck it? Let's look. Because I feel like I would error out though if that was the case. That's under county data. County data. Yeah, it's there. It's invoking it. On county select. This would be on territory select over here, which is up here. Select is the value that, or selected is the value that we're changing. Look, he's got a thing in here, a float in here. This is how I decipher stuff. I just copy and paste back and forth until it works or it doesn't work, and I gotta do it a different way. I was doing this on my map, the county creator, though. Can I just stick a float in here? Why does it let me do this? Oh, A is a float, and it only goes to 1. Okay, well then why didn't it let me put in that other number? It's like, it's like sure, just do whatever you want. Just everything's fine. There we go. So we can just do it through that part. I'm gonna put a fucking note in there though that it's hard to tell. If there's an outline though, because there's an actual line that I followed when I cut these things out. I think there is. Oh, there is. You know, my look at this. You can see how shitty of a job I did. Maybe we don't want to be able to zoom in. Okay. All right. So let me put a note on this so I know why this number's here. That what do they call that? Opacancy. That's not how you spell that. Opacancy. Maybe that's not even a word. Opaquensense. Opaque. Opaque. No, what? What do they call it over here? I need a county data. It's just A on this type of color. Well, we'll just since I can't spell opacancy, opaquensense, we'll just go with what I got here. Not with that. This is for A. So the county isn't covered in white. All right, that's gonna work for what we're doing. So that was surprisingly successful. Now we have to go to the second part here, which is saving the things. We're gonna run this. We're gonna generate the counties. They're all working. We're gonna save the counties. And I probably should change the saving. That doesn't look right. You know, probably what the issue is. Tillamook. Wasco. Yeah, this is the problem. Is Douglas. Portland's right. Wasco. This is going to be, yeah, Wasco again. Harney. Umatilla. So when I was making, back to the names of these counties, when I was making the county names, I was combining like 4 counties. Like you can see all the real counties are much smaller. And I didn't want so many tiny counties. And I picked the best names, you know. I fucked up here. We gotta stop this. Then we gotta go back up to here and delete these. Once again, the problem is I want to have a button that deletes these, but the problem is that if you have one open, it doesn't tell you. Nothing happens. It just doesn't delete it, and that's a problem. All right, we got all of our little green counties here. They all work. We're going to save them. I should definitely do this async, though. And this is another weird thing. This is done, but it doesn't show that there's anything in here until you click it. So now we should have these scenes with each county, and then we should be able to stop this guy and then hit play again, and it should automatically pull those from that scene and work. Or from this folder, I mean. It does, so we don't have to generate the counties anymore. So basically the steps would be, if we made a change, like if we added a new county in, we would delete all of these counties, and then we would do it again, which I would like it to not be so labor intensive. But like I said, this is the very basics of it. It's not the this is not a finished product in any meaning of the term, because we have some other issues as well. One of them being that these counties here. Let me start this again. Now that we don't have to wait so long, let's actually put a note over here. I want to have it so we want that asynced there. So the other problem we're going to have is you might notice that there's no capitals on here. That needs to happen. But I'm going to have to like learn how to drag and drop shit on this scene to do that. So let's put that in. I mean, that's not impossible. I want to learn how to drag and drop shit anyways in a game scene. Drag and drop county overlay location. I mean, I want to learn how to do that anyways, but that we're not ready for that. So the way the workaround that I've done is shitty. It's shitty, and it requires me to never delete these resources here. What we're gonna do is we currently know what they are for these four. So we're gonna go to these four, and we're gonna, well, we gotta open them up individually actually. Where are they? I got it. This has got to change too, because man, I never can find these fucking things. But it won't matter. They'll be at the top there in a second, and we won't use these anymore. Man, I only have a half hour left. I guess we're gonna have to finish this next week. But I knew, like I said, I knew there's no way I was gonna finish this in enough time. So we actually know these current location. It's this. I hope this is back to the thing that I was complaining about. Why isn't this always the global location? So this actually, that this negates my complaints earlier, because we want to know its local position. So I'm just gonna write this down. See that, like I said, this way is shitty. I could do a screenshot. So it's 18 by -8, and what I want to do is have it, you drag and drop them, and it will just remember this. And then we're going to do the county overlay for Portland. I have 2 P's in here, but whatever. 8 by 30. And then we're going to open this guy up. County overlay for Tillamook is -8 by 72. And then we have our final one of Wasco. See, we're already having an issue here, though, is we don't know where the other ones are going to be. We can just tell it that it's the center, but the center, like I said, is not where we want the shit. I don't need to save this. I was trying to save this. Then we go back to our map edit. We can close this shit down. Try horror. I like the horror better. All right, so we have cowlets over here, and so I already built this in this thing we're doing, and then we're gonna go to Tillamook. We know that this one's gonna be -8 by 72. And you know, this starting mass position, let's actually change this to not be an export. I needed it to be an export a while ago, but so I could see like what was like making sure it was working. But I don't want it to be an export anymore. We want it to be we don't want to see that shit. Um, then Tillamook, how are you doing, Joker? Tillamook, we did. Portland. I started watching one of your videos this morning, Joker, about something, and FSR, I don't know. And I was like, watched like 10 seconds of it, and I was like, I don't even know what the fuck FSR is. And I was like, do I care about this? I was like, I gotta spend my time more wisely. I can't just have, I can't be watching videos. That I like. I need to learn. There's so many. I have a list of like 1,000 things I need to learn Godot. Like jumping to some 3D graphics thing, not necessary for me to learn right now. Um, okay, so these are all fucked up. We have 4 that are good though. Now, let's check our county scene though. I want to make sure that these are set at 0. See? That almost made our lives difficult. Oh, look, we have a scale on here. It's I have not enough. I have too many hobbies, I think, but I like being busy. Now I understand all these old people who be like, I want to be busy all the time. Now I understand what they were talking about. So what we're gonna do here, this county overlay is gonna be fucked up. Let's generate the counties. Actually, the counties are going to be fine right now. What we got to do is so everything with the county generation is working. We got to now tell it, we got to take these off of here, basically. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to hope that this isn't a horrible mistake. On this main map, we got to fix this map because this is no longer our map. I would like to be able to use the same map editor one. So maybe we can do that. Where are we sticking this map? Where are these things living? Not on the AI. Okay, so we have these background nodes. We don't need these. We don't need these anymore. It says there's scenes. What's on here? What are they called? Oregon? Like what is it? What is it in this scene? It's a nothing. Okay, so we don't need that. So we don't need these scenes in the main anymore. I'm trying to think if we need like any of this. I don't think we need any of this. We're gonna change the project settings though to run now main, and we're gonna add in. We're gonna add in a static thing, whatever they're called, a static body 2D. I think is what we want. What do you want? There's no shape. I don't give a fuck. Maybe we don't want it. We'll just make it a node 2D so it doesn't complain all the time. Whoops, not metadata. And this is just going to be the map. And this is where, but what I'm thinking, oh wait, no, this needs to be a sprite. Let's do this 6 times. This is just going to be the map. What I'm thinking here... What is this script? All graphics. We could put this... Not under the camera. That'd be fucking disastrous. Dragging around the map. What's going on here? Why is the camera's not moving? Uh, I think we're gonna have to attach it. I'm trying to think of a way we can get it from this thing. But this isn't gonna run in this temporary thing, so we're just gonna have to add it. It's kind of a bummer. So this will go here. Once again, I even talked about the centering thing earlier. And then I had issues with it. All right, so we have this, and then it's going to go main, which is just like our globals and shit. It's going to go these graphics, which is just like graphics and shit. It's going to hit the player controls, which should still work. The faction generation. Let's take a look how we're doing that. It's pulling the factions from the resources. All right, so let's go back to our resources. I think we need to assign some factions to our resources. Yeah, in this current setup, everyone's assigned to the player because I copied the one that I copied Portland. So let's look at our factions, which isn't the end of the world, but if we have 7, let's make another faction, another AI faction. And it doesn't, this shit doesn't matter, except we probably want to name it something. AI faction 3. Was this named AI faction 1? No. Okay. Whoops. Whoops. AI faction 3. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to add one additional faction, and we'll start out the factions with having more than one. This way we can test like other things. So let's see. If we have this, Cowlitz is up here. Cowlitz is owned by faction 1. We'll leave that that way. Tillamook is owned by faction 2. Douglas is over here. It's owned by the player faction. Let's put this as faction 2. And then let's to the right of Portland is this place, which I can't remember the name of it. It's Wasco. Wasco's to the right. And then we'll put Harney. will be faction 3. And then Umatilla will be faction 3. All right, so that's the first thing it does. I mean, we should probably just hit play and see what happens. Fuck it, right? It's going to be like, you don't have anything under the counties. There's no county nodes. How are you supposed to do this? It's broken. Man, the map. Oh, our zoom broke. It's because I was dragging and I thought that we had like some weird line up here too, but it was all right. It's so weird that this camera thing imploded when I... Oh, maybe it has a zoom speed. When I tried to make it a scene. Let's worry about that later, though. Let's try to get as much done before we create faction leaders, county data. Yeah, so we need to we basically need to have, what does this thing do? Generate buildings, assign county. All right, we don't want to do that. We're going to need a new node in here. And I was just thinking of a new issue that this is going to cause. Because every time you play the game, it's got to load this shit up, which I guess isn't the end of the world, but it's going to take a significant amount of time. We want it probably like up here somewhere. We're going to call this like county loader. Because it's gonna load. Well, it's gonna instantiate them from our counties folder. I guess it's loading a county instantiator. We'll call this county loader here. And I looked at how much time I left, and that like threw off my whole thought process. County loader, and then we're going to copy from the map editor, actually. We want, I think it's under the county creator, it checks. Now that we have to hit the button there. When you start the editor, it checks to see. Actually, we should look on the other one. If it needs to load them, or if you need to do other stuff. I don't feel like it's the county checker. Oh, it is the county checker. I guess we could call that thing the county checker. Basically, what it does is it copies. Did I already make a county checker over here? I did. So what we can do is, once again, I guess it's not really. We'll rename this, and we'll probably want to put in. We'll make this script work for both. But what we'll probably want to do is change this. Yeah, so basically what it does is it checks to see if there's anything in that folder, and then if there's anything in that folder, it's going to load it somewhere fucking weird, though. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I have to figure out how to do this where I have two different scenes that aren't, like, they're sharing variables, but they're not both running. So we're going to actually just call it, we're going to call this county loader, and we'll just copy this shit. And once again, it's eventually we're going to want to clean all this crap up when I figure out a way to do it. As we go along, we're going to want to improve and have less duplicate scripts. This is a weird place to put this. Even in the other script. I don't actually think we need that there. This is a weird place to put this in the other script, because we should have that at the end. I'm not going to fuck with it right now, though, because then we'll get on some sidetrack shit. Path to counties we're going to add. See, it would be nice if I could have these global. So I guess I could use that thing I was talking about before. And that would be one option, is if we have this thing, the auto loader, with just a few variables that are not drag and drop, like path to county, stuff like that, could be in there in that file, and it would work for both. Because path to counties is not going to, it's just a typed in thing. It doesn't change. County datas. Oh, man. Add node to array. Add node to array. What the fuck are you talking about? This doesn't add the node to the array. We have an array over there. All we really want it to do is load this shit. Let's get rid of this. I guess these are going to be somewhat different. And no files in this thing. And then we're going to go to, guess I closed it. Of course I closed it. We'll go to here. And we'll copy the path. And we'll go to, running out of time here. What do we got? Token selected, game settings, event variables. Map. And this is a public string path to counties. And it's going to equal this, but with some things here. So back to this thing. No, not back to this thing. Back to this thing. County checker. We copied that in, but this is actually the county loader now. And we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to go load the county loader. All right, then let's see if we actually can get some counties loaded here. It's supposed to just, if there's anything, we have something. I know, bring it. All right. I'm running the wrong one. How many times have I done that today? This is a different wrong one, though. The other wrong one I ran a bunch of times. This is that was a different wrong one. I ran that less times. Just taking its sweet time. Okay, so for some reason, once again, my Zoom is no longer working. We're close. We're off by something, and I would bet if we look at like the local counties transform is off. Yep. That was probably something that I like manually did. So there it is. And that actually worked without any bugs. What the fuck? That shouldn't work. So we're still adding in the random colors. And that's what I want. I don't know if this one is getting the random colors, though. It should be. We'll have to look. We'll see. Well, we'll see right now. If it's green again, it's most likely not getting the, if it's green again, it's most likely not getting. This is kind of a long time. Also, we probably want to start so it's getting, that was surprisingly easy. These are some ugly ass shit, but this is a good color thing because now we can see that these are all working. Clicking doesn't do anything anymore because that's a different issue. But let's also double check something else by turning off the map. And then the map is still here. So that looks actually pretty good. I mean, we don't want to turn off the map permanently. It was just a test. So that actually works pretty good. We're going to figure out why my zoom doesn't work anymore all of a sudden with my camera. I guess that's next. We only got like 10 minutes. And so before we jump to the next inputs, so the inputs, we have to adjust the inputs on this part of the script. Once again, I got to figure out a way to make them merge when I'm running one scene that's not running. In the game, they'll both, well, they won't both be running, but they could both be running. What happened to your zoom in here, buddy? It worked in the other one. Reference to your camera node. Zoom speed. Directions. Oh, you know what happened? Is we lost our whatchamacallit, signals. Why does the other thing work, though? Do we need signals for this? I would assume we would. Where's my camera controls again? Because it imploded when I brought that thing down here. Actually, let's take a look. We have it, the imploded thing down here, I think. Yeah, there's no signals on this one either. Fuck this thing. Fuck that imploded thing. But I'm assuming we need some signals. I would assume... Yeah, it's just our input action is all we need. So, let's make sure... Let's close this one. We're not going to mess with that one anymore today. Let's close this thing as well. Let's go back to our camera. Or did I delete my camera just now? Nope, we're on the county scene. We can close that too. We need input. What did we call this thing? Look at this one is a smaller... Huh. There's less stuff in there. I set up this camera ages ago, so maybe it needs some changes, or I need to relearn how the shit works. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Maybe we need this whole thing. I can't remember. Yeah, it's so weird that that signal imploded everything. I mean, that scene, whatever I just said. When I made this a scene... And this is just wants the confiner. Yeah, we don't, or that's what I keep calling it. This is the confiner. Uh, wait, it was working in this one. Wasn't it? Was I not trying to zoom? Oh, I'm running the wrong one. No, I was zooming in because I say something? Maybe we just don't want to let him zoom. All right, so this is the editor. Yeah, so this part where you can hover over, we have to fix on the map part because it's not, the input's not right. But this, so on the editor, we don't have any signals. Maybe it's because it's a scene. Maybe it's because it's that busted scene that exploded. Make local. Oh, now we have two cameras. That's probably the issue. That's what all this weird shit is. There's a lot of weird shit going on with that thing. Well, does that other one have two now? Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It was. I don't know. We fixed it. Let's look at this catastrophe here. So this, I think this is. Oh wait, now it's moves. Oh, that's a different. That's a different issue. Like this looks like this is lined up. There's like a river or something. Like it's lined up, but man, this gray line, it's somewhat lined up. Well, I'm just gonna have to get over it. That's the thing. I'm just gonna have to get over it. We can't select anything, but I don't want to get into that yet. I guess next week, and that's what I'm doing is fixing the selection, and then we can add we can start adding more people or more counties if we need to. But I figured I'd throw Idaho in here while we were here, and I was doing the color coding. So yeah, if you want, if you're setting up a map that's like this, check out Wind of Lettuce's generic. It's not called generic. It's called something. It's in my README. It's there. Let's push this shit to fucking war. Definitely not. We're gonna have a new thing called map editor. I didn't push my code yesterday with all of my issues with my power outages and stuff. What a fucking fool. Map editor is working up to the input part. Input still needs to be done. Commit all. Push. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for joining me. And thanks for the 10-second quick fix there. That was so easy for you. Anyways.